Hello, everybody. It's Kanan,
It's Jessie.
and we're the Geeky Sane couple, and we're back with a new RWBY video. Now, the information we're going over in this video did come out probably 2 weeks ago, so it's not exactly new news, but here recently we've been kind of busy. We had to house and dog sit for family members for a week. Jess is once again getting orders again, and hours for me at work went up. So yeah, we've been kind of behind on RWBY news, though there's not really been a whole lot of news besides this. And so, gonna go ahead and tell you we're gonna be talking spoilers for the new book Roman Holiday. So, giving you a quick spoiler warning about it's not much details, but some people like to go into these books 100% blind. So, we won't give away what the name is in the title of the video, but just like what we'll be talking about. So, some early information has come out about Roman Holiday, which of course comes out September 7th of this year. So, go pre-order it because I'm sure it's going to be a great read. And we've learned some stuff. One is Neo's real name. And to tell you the truth, the first time I read it, I was like, what the crap? What kind of name is that? But as we know, Rooster Teeth or RWBY, they do find ways to keep the connection alive to the character, plus put in a little bit of story into their name, especially with Neo this time around. Because before we give her name, we're going to get into some information about Neo's parents and her home life. So this is where spoilers are starting. So her mother's name is Caramel, okay, and her father's name is Jimmy. I don't know. That's funny to me. Just some
Just a normal random name.
everyday guy. I'm Jimmy. Who is a Vale City councilman. So I guess that's pretty confirmation that Neo is from Vale originally.
Or at least her family is.
Yeah.
Even if she wasn't.
And it says here in the opening pages, their family dynamic is presented as quite toxic. So I don't think a lot of people are going to be shocked that Neo came from probably a problematic family. So Neo's real name is Trivia Vanille. Now, of course, vanille is the French word for vanilla, so that it goes with the ice cream connection to Neo's character. Now, of course, trivia, the moment someone hears trivia, they think of like trivia games and stuff like that. But the actual meaning for trivia is details, considerations, or pieces of information of little importance or value. So to me, that automatically reminds me of the toxic family that she is supposed to have. Maybe they see their daughter of such little value and importance, they literally named her Trivia.
I mean, it kind of
saying
fits a little bit.
she's a trivial child, like she's not important, she's so that's going to be heartbreaking if that's true. I kind of hope I am right on that, because it would explain a lot for Neo's story. And then it goes on to say that Vanille also has an imaginary friend called Neapolitan, who she later becomes in some way. Okay, so being a psychology major, there has been, children use imaginary friends as comfort sometimes. And of course, kids who may be an only child, all that, they'll make imaginary friends because they get lonely, they get bored. Especially if you say live in a out in the country where there's not that many people. Now, even though I have a brother and sister, I was so much younger than my brother and sister that I was kind of raised as an only child, but I never had an imaginary friend. I never got that lonely. I think me having video games and stuff like that kind of helped.
I think I did when I was younger, but I mean, I also, with ways that I grew up, I didn't have a lot of friends. Like, outside the ones I grew up with, like school, around, nobody wanted me around. So I just kind of kept to myself.
So, one thing, like, was Neo born mute? We don't. Yeah, we don't know yet. Does something happen that causes her to be mute? And is it that event that transforms her into Neo? Maybe we're looking at a imaginary friend that kind of became a personality in a way, maybe.
Or maybe like this imaginary friend she had
was such a comfort, maybe that
once she got away from the however she gets away from the toxic family, she wanted to take on the person she looked up to, which would have been her imaginary friend. Yeah. She wanted to be like that person, so she took on that to rid, I guess, the toxic part of her life.
Yeah, now, of course,
things like that would make sense.
Yeah, now, we don't know what happens to Neo's family. We don't know if she kills them. We don't know if Roman has something to do with it. We don't know if maybe she runs away from home.
I mean, they could be all alive for all
Yeah, maybe they owe Roman money, so they sold her to him. I mean, that's a horrible thing to think of, but
I like to think that Roman found her.
Well, yeah, so it makes me wonder did she run away? Did someone else do something to her family and Neo witnessed it? Or did Neo herself do it? We won't know until September.
I thought something else when you said comes from a toxic, background. Her symbol looks like a biohazard symbol. Mm-hmm. It would kind of fit with the toxic family.
Yeah, that actually does.
Mixing it with the ice cream colors. So I didn't think about that until now. I thought, because someone had pointed out to me that her symbol looks like a biohazard symbol. So it fits a little bit. I mean, it's not something huge, but it's just it's a connection to it.
And I wonder, if we'll also get, how she learned what her semblance was and stuff like that, because if she's going to have the kind of family that I think she's going to have, they're not going to be very supportive of anything she does, so it's not like they're going to help her learn it or anything. So I'm pretty sure she learned how to use her semblance and everything from Roman. Speaking of Roman, apparently before they meet, we're going to get Neo's story, and there's going to be a Roman portion, and apparently during Roman's portion, Little Miss Malachite from Volume 6 will return, because Roman's part of the story takes place in Mistral, so we're getting a little bit of a connection to Volume 6 here, in that we now know how Neo knew to go to Little Miss Malachite to find Cinder. So that the little connection there, a little bit of connection between. So we now know that Little Miss Malachite knew Neo before she came to try to find out where Cinder was.
And then, which leads me to believe also. I mean, yeah, obviously the business that Little Miss Malachite's in, but she would have welcomed Neo because she probably would know, okay, well, I've done stuff for you before, so she'd be more trusted than Cinder. Mm-hmm. So she'd obviously would definitely keep quiet.
And it's funny, thinking about how Neo uses her semblance, how she uses it to be other people and stuff like that. I wonder if there's any connection between the imaginary friend and what her semblance ended up being. What if it turns out instead of an imaginary friend, it is a split personality thing, and in the end, Vanille disappeared and Neo stayed, because that's happened in some cases. If someone has a very traumatic psychotic breakdown. Like, we've seen it in movies, we've seen it happen in real life. So I don't know if RWBY is going to go that dark, but then again, RWBY has went pretty dark.
But I mean, it would also fit like it, because that's all like through like mental health like stuff. So it could possibly be that, or Vanille she's lost, and she just took on Neo I guess as a way to protect herself. And
be stronger, something like that. Who knows? We won't know until next month.
I kind of like to think. I mean, I don't know what to. I know we've talked about 9 and all that, but since Neo fell, I'm kind of hoping that maybe we'll get a little bit of a connection.
Maybe that's why Roman Holiday. Maybe that's why they're taking a break from because everybody expected the next novel to be once again Team Coffee and Team Sun, but maybe that's why this book is coming out before Volume 9, because
it will connect to that. And it would make a lot of sense since Neo fell.
I didn't think about that. That's actually a very good point.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we'll get like a full thing like we did for Cinder,
but there may
be bits and pieces where
there may be Easter eggs. There may be stuff in there
where there'd be connections
that you won't get unless you read the book.
Which it kind of still leads me even more to the theory of seeing those past people we've mentioned in videos. Like, it would make sense for her to see Neo, because then Roman, because we'd see glimpses of other things. So maybe that's something that will happen there.
Yeah. So yeah, this is very interesting because Neo is one of my all-time favorite characters. I keep on forgetting where she falls for you, but
she is a favorite character. She's on my cosplay list.
But she's always stood out to me. Her design, her hair color, that was the big thing that really stood out about Neo, was her hair color. The fact that her name is Neapolitan and her hair is literally the colors of Neapolitan ice cream. But her fighting style, how confident she is, like, she is still one of the only characters to flat out beat Yang in a head-to-head fight. I don't count Yang getting her arm cut off by Adam, because as Ruby has said, her aura was down, she had been fighting for a while, and she went in blindly, where Neo, she, I guess, kind of fought with a straight head, but she didn't lay a finger on Neo, so Neo's the first one to really give her an L.
Yeah, especially since Neo's, we'll probably learn why she's learned to fight like that, and I'm sure Roman has a lot to do with it. But another thing is that's why in the past, I know I've said in videos that I've compared her to how Harley is. I mean, the way she moves. She has...
Be funny if there's a little connection, if there's a little Easter egg somewhere in her origin story.
I really do believe that is one little piece of a connection of outside that inspired Neo, because that's the only, thinking through a lot of, anti-heroes, she's the only one that fits. It's Harley. And, how she moves when she fights, how she's deadly, but she's also graceful, the one where she was fighting Yang, where she sat down, crossed her leg, and just had the umbrella on her shoulder. It was kind of, it showed deadly but grace and elegant. It just, Harley does that too.
The only thing she is the exact opposite of Harley is that Harley runs her mouth, and Neo doesn't.
And Neo does it, which, that could also be a thing. Harley's very open in what she says, and Neo doesn't talk. So it could be the opposite effect there.
I'm also kind of hoping, I forgot the time frame of when they released Neo for Cross Tag, and when volume the recordings for volume 7 and 8 happened, but I really wish they would get Casey at some point to at least do grunts and battle calls for Neo, since she did it and Cross Tag, because that kind of does make Casey the voice of Neo, because so far in the show Neo doesn't make a sound even when she fights.
And the thing also
but the thing is, I don't know enough about being mute, because I know you can at least grunt and stuff.
Yes, and you can come back from it. Because there's actually, I've known a few people, but there's a YouTuber that I follow, and apparently her voice is very high and really soft. She's an artist, but she someone kept asking her why she sounds like that. She says, I used to be mute. And the thing is, so you can come back from that. Your voice might be the same, but maybe there's something triggering Neo to not be able to speak.
Like, this is going off the theory that maybe she was, like, I don't know what it's like if you're born that way, but what if she wasn't? What if something happened that caused it? That's why, but we don't know yet. I don't know if we will learn it. But
I'm kind of hoping we see some things, because it would lead us to, try to into new theories that maybe she could get her voice to talk again one day. Thing is, that would really throw Cinder off. Yeah. If Cinder still thinks she's mute, and she turns around, like, says the last words or something to her, because it'd be great, I think.
All in all, I'm glad this book is coming out. I've wanted to know Neo's story for a long time, because since she is a character that doesn't vocalize, they've never really covered her story. And I'm kind of hoping that this book is coming out, and since she is one of the ones that fail at the end of Volume 8, that maybe she's going to become a much more important character, or this could be their way of sending her off. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think Neo is going to become more,
a series
important.
A series needs to have that character who is not 100% a villain, but not 100% a good guy either, who kind of stays in the mid. But who knows? Who knows what RWBY plans to do?
I really do hope that it's because we've finally got to that point that we had been wanting with Emerald. So now I'm kind of hoping.
And we finally learned Cinder's backstory.
Yes,
so Neo is kind of the next
Neo's
one that we need.
Neo's the next one here. So I don't know. It just would make sense to bring her up, because the thing is now if you see the direction, the way the story's going, like Team RWBY and all them, they need to now build their allies on their own because of all the damage that Ironwood caused and all that. So, yeah, Neo may not go to the good side, but she would be an ally because
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Like the way she is, she doesn't want any of that. She wants revenge for Roman. But that's about it.
Yeah,
but
really.
The other side of that, you think she doesn't want the world to end. She'd want us to actually survive.
I mean, I could see Neo forming like her own little gang and doing organized crime. That's about it.
Well, yes, but the thing is she doesn't want whatever.
She doesn't want world domination. She doesn't want the world to end.
No, she doesn't.
I don't think so. Unless she kind of takes on some Joker personalities and wants to watch the world burn. But I don't think Neo's that kind of character. Like, I think the only reason why she was going to kill Yang was because they were in her and Roman's way. And of course she wants to kill RWBY because she has been led to believe that RWBY killed Roman. So,
which, again, I hope that we do see some of the theories that we thought of, because it'd be nice for her to learn that.
Yeah.
After everything we're now going to be learning that Neo's been through, it'd be nice for her to learn something about the one that clearly cared about her.
Yeah.
Let her learn the truth of that.
Yeah.
I think she deserves that at this point.
Yeah. This all started in Volume 6 when we got the song One Thing. So, they didn't do much after that, through Volume 7, but we're getting this book. I never thought Neo would be one of the ones that fail, and she was. So they're definitely planning something for her. So we're just going to have to wait and see. But yeah, this was just a little video to go over, this news about Neo, talk about the book a little bit, talk about stuff with Roman. So hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, click that like button, leave us a comment. As always, guys, this is Kanan.
This is Jessie.
We love you all very, very much. Please expect more RWBY videos throughout the next couple of weeks. As always, guys, take care of yourselves, stay safe out there, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.